Hello and welcome to the Cash Grab podcast, where we go through different movie franchises that have been turned into video games or vice versa and decide, are they a cash grab or are they not? My name is Tom.
And I'm Steph.
And that is the first time I've ever got it first time.
Yeah, mate, I'm quite impressed, actually.
I'm really impressed. I surprised myself then.
It's taken,
Holy shit.
It's taken, 37 episodes?
Yeah.
And you've got it spot on the first time.
That's a collective amount of time because we've done some longer episodes as well. So it's a collective amount of time of roughly 50 hours. It took me 50 hours to get it right.
You got there.
You got there. It's not
it.
about the amount of time. It's about the fact that if you get there eventually, it's all that matters.
It's true.
You watch me fuck it up 8 times in a row for episode 38.
Oh, God, yeah. The outtake will be like 10 minutes long.
It will indeed. So quick housekeeping notes as we start the episode off. Please do give this a like. Please do subscribe. Please do comment. And please do consider checking out our Patreon. That would mean the world to the both of us. Thank you very much. So straight out with it. We are doing Predator. We are both analysing the film, of which we've watched half an hour. And we're going over the NES game, of which we've played half an hour. But before then, let's have a little chat, because it's been a while since we've seen each other. How are you, Steph?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm good, yes.
Still playing Final Fantasy 7?
Still playing Final Fantasy 7. I'm on the Ghost Train bit, or not Ghost Train. Ghost Train was from Final Fantasy 6, wasn't it? Was it 6 or 8?
Wait, what is it?
Remember
it's
Ghost
8.
Train?
It's 8.
Final Fantasy 8.
Doom Train.
Doom Train.
Doom Train.
That was it, Doom Train.
Dan's favourite summon. He'll be commenting. He'll be one of our first comments saying, it wasn't actually my favourite summon.
He loved it. He loved Doom
It was
Train.
his favourite. If he tells you it wasn't his favourite summon, he's lying.
He's lying. He's lying all the time. No, so I'm still playing that. I'm on the train graveyard.
That's it. Yeah.
Still absolutely loving it.
Yeah.
Can't fault it.
Really?
Wall Street was a fucking experience. I'm not going to say anything.
Can I ask a question? It's not appropriate. you know where I'm going.
I'm a bit scared.
So you know Cloud wears a dress?
In the original one, yes.
He doesn't in this one.
I'm not saying anything. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody.
Oh, come on.
No.
Why?
I'm not going to.
Does he look handsome?
I'm not
Does
saying
he look
anything.
pretty?
I mean...
Or beautiful?
You can see from the trailers that he looks pretty. He's a pretty boy anyway.
He is a pretty boy, which makes me think that it would be... Someone's just posted a letter.
Got my post.
So, I not in a fiery sort of way, but I could see him being a bit of a trap. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can.
I'm glad you come round to my way of thinking.
I'm a bit scared. So I'm just been playing that. Sadly, I haven't put as much time into it as I wanted. But moving house and setting up it takes a lot of your time.
It is a long old process.
So,
it is a long old process.
I've been dealing with that. So yeah, like I said, I haven't put as much time as I wanted, but I'm still loving it.
Nice, man.
How
Good
about
shit.
you?
Well, we've mentioned earlier, we've mentioned in our gameplay footage of the Predator,
which comes out after this.
Yep, it'll be coming out very soon. I mentioned that I have still been playing Battlefront 2, but I've also divulged because I've had enough of shooting stormtroopers between the eyes. Funnily enough.
Yeah, it's strange. You wouldn't think you would have enough of that.
Nah, it's the type of game I can jump back into it whenever I want. I'm not divulging in the campaign. I'm not divulging in any story. Don't give a shit. All I want to blast the shit out of people, get my star cards, build my credits, buy outfits and emotes, and dance to fucking 7-year-olds that are picking it up on Origin for their first gaming PC.
Nice.
Yes, that's all I want to do. But I picked up Vampire, which is like a 2018 release, which kind of was big and then was very small. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it to bits. I would say I'm like 2 and a bit, maybe 3 hours in. So I can't say like...
You can't give it a full kind of review, but you're enjoying it.
This is by no means a review, but certainly for the roughly 3 hours I've played so far, it's been a gem. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I have.
Yeah, because I remember there was quite a bit of hype that came out with it.
There was, yeah.
But, yeah, like you said, it quickly quickly seems to die away, but it does. We were discussing Half-Life Alyx earlier, and
Yeah,
that
mate.
had a massive hype run, didn't it? And
Yeah.
then as soon as it came out, the reviews came out saying it's, Valve have done it again. It's the next thing of VR.
Yeah.
Like Half-Life 1 when it kind of became the next big thing. Half-Life 2 done the same. Half-Life Alyx seems to do the same again, but for VR. But then it quickly just tapered off. But you need like £1,000 VR kit and £1,000 gaming PC. And
Yeah.
I mean, you don't comment. I know you don't need £1,000 PC and whatever. You can run it on lower spec, but you need to spend
to appreciate it, I suppose.
Yeah, you need to have spent a lot of money to get that. Unless they bring it to like the Oculus Quest or the PSVR somehow, which I don't personally see happening.
I don't think they're going to. No.
If they manage to do that, then maybe there'll be that hype wave again and make it a bit more accessible to people.
Possibly. Yeah.
But
possibly.
At the moment, it's a bit closed off, so I think that's why it kind of like just the hype just died, didn't it? 'Cause
Absolutely.
It did just disappear.
It did. Yeah. It was the biggest thing on the planet for a week.
Yeah, and then it just stopped.
And then like barely hear anything about it at all anymore. Like people just doing like weird modding videos or showing you what they can play on the piano, and that's about it. It's like, but this whole thing about like technology and stuff. The amount of times I'm seeing things like limitless gaming, that quote coming up, and it came up a lot when like around the time Valve were releasing Alyx and all of their VR gear and all of that shit. And they're saying this is the new way of gaming. It's limitless gaming. I thought, well, actually, it's quite the fucking opposite. Let's be honest, because you need at least $2,000 of a down payment to do that. So it's pretty limited gaming, in my opinion. Limitless gaming implies it's open to all. It's a banquet of gaming.
Yeah, so it's limitless as long as you spend all the money on it.
Yeah, who's got $2,000 floating around these days? I certainly don't. I've barely got 2 pennies. I could show you my wallet now, and I could pull out my salary, and I tell you, my salary isn't in notes. It's in fucking brown coins.
In copper, yeah.
It's in coppers, yeah.
No, I find, I mean, I'd love to upgrade my PC, but I just don't have the money to spend on it at the moment. And then the PS5's come in.
The thing is with PCs, though, it's a deadly old game, because you obviously helped me to upgrade my PC recently. Got the new graphics card in, which I'm just so happy about. But then it's one of those things, as soon as you upgrade that, you think to yourself, oh yeah, my motherboard could, I could do with a new motherboard because I could...
Yeah, because my RAM's not as good as it could be.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. I could have 16 gig of RAM instead of 8, so I should get a new motherboard.
Yeah, and it can run at a higher clock speed now, so maybe I should get a new motherboard that supports that. And,
yeah,
and then you're like, oh, well, now I've only got 8
endless.
gig of whatever clock speed. Now I need to go up to 8 to 16 or whatever it is.
It's fucking endless,
Yeah, okay,
mate.
I'll buy that then. And then, the thing is, like, unless you're going to buy it all at once and you buy top of the range first time, and then you do that again in like 7 to 10 years, you're constantly spending money on it. It's just a money pit, isn't it?
It is.
I mean,
it's ridiculous.
Fucking fun money pit.
It is great, and like the more you delve into it, the more enjoyable it gets, I believe. Like I fit my first fan a little while ago, didn't I? And like I really had a nice little time with that. and doing my little cable management, and it's proper bot's job, but I was well happy with it. I was like, good on you, mate.
Yeah, you've done it.
Like pressing that power button was the scariest thing I've ever done since getting married, because I thought as soon as I press that power button, I'm gonna hear and it's fucking plumes of smoke.
From a fan. From one fucking fan.
Yeah, but if anyone could manage it, it would be me, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, you've never built a PC and then checked it all, think, yeah, that's all sweet, press the power button, and then it, like, the motherboard goes, woo.
Yeah.
Or it beeps at you and then turns off, and you're like, what's wrong? That is, that's
an awful feeling, isn't it?
Oh, it's terrible.
That'd be disgusting. I couldn't cope with that.
Anyway, should we get on to The Predator?
Let's do it. So yesterday we watched half an hour of The Predator.
Yesterday?
Is that what I said?
You just said yesterday we watched half an hour of The Predator.
Do you know what I think I said? But I think I said yes today.
That definitely sounded like yesterday.
I promise you, there's a comma in there.
I'll have to listen back to that to see if it did sound like
I want to
yesterday.
listen back to that as well. Do you remember? I'm sorry, I'm going off tangent. Just one more time, I promise. But do you remember when I tried to do that intro that fucked up, and I went French? French. We looked through different movies.
We didn't actually put it out anywhere yet, so we'll put it up on our Patreon, I think.
Yes, that's a good different French.
It was good. It was good. It was like your lips just forgot to move.
Didn't they? Just. We have watched The Predator today.
So yeah, we watched Predator 1, the original Predator.
From what year is it again, Steph?
I'm just looking now just to get it back in my mind. 1987.
A good year. So, yep, 1987. And I believe it was the 1st of January in this country. It was literally the turn of 87 that it came out. I always have it to mind that it was like start of the year.
Well, this says June.
Oh, fuck off. Does it? Is that the States?
I think this must be America.
Hang on.
June 1987.
Oh, that's a real... If I really spoke that up, didn't I?
And you're like, couldn't be more wrong. It was bang in the middle of the year.
Yeah, exactly. Either way would have been better, wouldn't it? Hang on. I've got it. Release date 1st of January, 1988.
Well, I guess it depends where...
United Kingdom, 1988.
Jan. So this is United States.
Yeah. Thank fuck for that. I really felt like silly bollocks there.
So they got it 6 months before we did. It's mad, isn't it, how like that used to be a thing?
Yeah. And there was no way of like seeing it.
Yeah, unless you got like a dodgy pirate copy from America.
Yeah. Yeah. Different world.
Crazy.
A different world in such a short amount of time. It's unbelievable. So, Steph, right off the bat, have you watched The Predator before?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, as have I. So we have both seen The Predator before. We've seen it all the way through. We've probably seen it multiple times over the years, haven't we?
The thing is, I have seen it multiple times, but I still manage to forget like the opening and then the scene that we're going to get to. I literally, when I think of The Predator, I literally just think of Arnie and the Predator in the jungle, which is the last part of the film, really. Like, when he's covering himself
half
in
an
mud.
hour, half an hour.
That's basically what I think of, and I just in my mind, I'm like, the whole film is literally Arnie taking on the Predator.
Yeah,
I forget completely about this beginning bit of this film.
Yeah, absolutely the same here. And my God, we were in for a treat reliving this. This was
it was great,
beautiful. So right off the bat, Predator is one of those lovely 80s films where it does nothing to build up its story. It just gives you a few little set pieces and just chucks you into it. And that's great because that's all you want.
That's all you need. It opens with an alien ship flying past the Earth and then firing something at it.
Yep.
And then it cuts to the army guys.
Yep.
Who are being told, right, you need to go into this jungle. And that's it, you're on.
Yep.
You know, there's no like, we think we found a disturbance in this forest and something, blah, 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 blah. Then it's like, just go to a jungle. It's a coincidence the Predator's there.
Yeah, exactly. It's totally coincidental. Like, I mean, the fact that we weren't aware of, the time in this film in terms of that, we kind of only picture that last half an hour really, is the fact that as soon as we started watching it, I said, I hope the, like, classic arms, like
the fucking
hands colliding
ridiculously built arms
with Arnie and Carl Weathers. I hope that scene is in the first half an hour. He's in the first 2 minutes for fuck's sake.
It was straight away.
It was right there. So they're old army buddies. They're reconnecting. They've gone different ways. They're like Arnie's operating basically a mercenary group, isn't he? Effectively,
that's what it seems like. Yeah.
And they're going into the jungle because they don't say what. Do they say what part of the world it is? Is it Vietnam? It's not Nam, is it?
I don't think it is Nam, but it feels like it is because it's an American film with helicopters in the 1980s. So
it's got that vibe, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm not actually sure where it is. I'll have a quick look.
Yeah, do that. But effectively, they're fighting a guerrilla group, or they've gone into the jungle to counteract this guerrilla group, who kind of are portrayed quite similar to the Viet Cong. So it's going along that angle, but as they arrive, they stumble across another army helicopter, which has gone down.
It says Central American jungle.
Oh, okay, fair enough, right. So it's obviously some sort of cartel shit, maybe. I don't know what's going on. Don't know what it's truly about. Just a guerrilla movement in the jungle. And so they've this army helicopter has crashed, and they don't really know how it's gone down. They can't really decide. The only way they can foresee it in human terms is that they've got a heat-seeking missile. Now, straight off the bat, they say, well, they're this guerrilla group have become surprisingly well armed over the past few days.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, so immediately there's this air of suspicion about what is going on, and this is as soon as they've like touched down in the jungle. This is straight off the bat, and then it's effectively a slow tracking progress to start with, really, isn't it? You've got old Chief, which is one of is their main tracker, which is. They're all playing on stereotypes.
All of them.
Like, every single one of them, they're playing on stereotypes. You've got your guy who's like, your big muscle-bound, 80s moustache-wearing, minigun-wielding maniac.
Unhinged army guy.
Yeah, and he's just like, what's wrong with you faggots in the
like
helicopter?
Straight off the bat.
Yeah, and that's not something I can be like accounted for of me being homophobic. This is word for word like what he says.
It is crazy going back. I mean, it was quite a long time ago now. You're thinking about it, so you don't think it was actually that long ago, but it was quite a while ago.
Yeah,
and obviously our eyes have been opened recently about everything.
Yeah,
and like seeing things like even just one word like that, you're like, oh fucking hell!
You said, times have changed, haven't they?
Yeah, you are just like, that's not really a word you throw about anymore.
Any movie would be blacklisted with language like that.
Yeah. Anyway.
We
won't get too much into that.
No, they're playing on their stereotypes, which is very much a key in this film, I think, for the character development or the lack of character development. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, in this film. But their main tracker is like Chief, which is kind of basically like Native American spirit animal who knows the land effectively, which is where we're going.
That's kind of what they're going for, isn't it?
Yeah. And so he is kind of leading the way, and from one incident with a downed chopper and a certain mystery surrounding it, they come across something which still has mystery surrounding it, but which is a bit more blunt, I would say.
What, the three bodies?
Yeah, three fucking flayed bodies
hung up and just skin ripped off.
Like fucking Ramsay Bolton had gone for a trip through the...
Yeah, it was,
fucking Central American jungle, innit?
Yeah, I mean, when it came on screen, obviously, we've seen some, like, horrible stuff since.
Yes.
Because that's just the way the films and movies and games has gone.
Yep, but, absolutely.
Like, I've seen all of the Saw films, for example.
Yeah.
But when he pulled back the like leaves and the vines and whatever to look at these bodies, even I was like, fuck, look at the state of them. It was disgusting, wasn't it?
It's gruesome, man.
It is really
and it
gruesome.
Still looks good to this day.
Yeah, it does.
That is convincing. There's nothing about it which kind of like, you see some of those things in like old, what are now older films, and you're like, yeah, I get the sentiment, but that's aged. Not at all.
Yes, yeah.
This looks great.
This is like still in the era of like props, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Predator, when he goes invisible and that, is not. But, like, they seem to try and use as many props as they can. Like,
absolutely.
The body still looks spot on. Like, they did look good.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this mystery of what is happening deepens, but the last thing they're going to think is, well, that explains it. There's a fucking alien.
There's like a 8-foot tall alien that can turn invisible and has a cannon on its shoulder.
When you say it like that, Predator sounds eccentric as fuck, doesn't he? Like,
I mean, he's got to be like Predator's got to be one of the coolest like aliens out there. Like Predator and Alien themselves, like both two amazing designs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they were real, I would just off myself because there's no way I'd stand a chance against either of them.
It's too horrifying a thing to imagine actually trying to survive against them, isn't it? You'd think like it would seem so fucking futile. Was there something where Alien had a design before they went with the Alien design, which was even more creepy?
What, in real life?
Yeah, it was either Alien or Predator. Like the design, they had a pre-design before changing it to the design we know and love today.
Oh, I know.
Should I try and look it up quickly?
Yeah, give it a quick Google.
I'll try and look it up.
I know E.T. was originally a horror film.
What?
Genuinely, E.T. was originally going to be a horror film.
Really?
And like, if you Google the original E.T., you see him, and he's fucking terrifying.
Really? Let's do a bit of. I'm going to do a bit of like.
Yeah, the original
digging.
ET, like he's pretty scary, and they're like, all right, let's tone this down and turn him into a kids film.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's
mad. Can I ask a question? You may not know, but with his terrifying design, did he still have his little glowing finger?
I don't know. We're gonna have to give it a little Google, aren't we?
Yeah, my internet. I'm trying to look up the original Alien, but my internet is shocking.
Oh yeah, I should probably get you on our Wi-Fi, shouldn't I?
Yeah, I'm still on the 3G. Is 3G still like a good amount of internet? Or is that bad?
A good amount of internet.
I don't know. 5G seems to be the big deal at the moment, doesn't it? But everyone thinks that it's mind controlling their dogs to eat their babies.
Yeah, exactly, and it's giving everybody corona.
Well, it is. It definitely is.
Oh, bloody disgusting.com's not loading.
Why?
I don't know. Pinterest is though.
Good shit.
Fucking Pinterest.
I'm really excited. Like delve. I'm dying to see what ET would look like scary because it's just not a creature that implies fear to me. Well, he's just. Do you remember that toy I had?
That
now,
ET toy.
now that was fucking
terrifying.
scary for listeners and viewers. God Almighty! I used to have this ET toy which was released in like I don't know late 90s, early 2000s, and it was just ET with a red hoodie on, and a bit like a Furby, wasn't it?
It was a Furby. Yeah, it was a Furby
with ET.
It was a Furby, ET, yeah.
So it's a bit like a Furby. You could put your finger in its mouth and you'd go yum and eat your finger and all of that. So typical to a Furby. One day, me and Steph decided that we had had enough of ET because he was also he had 3 modes. He had an on and off and a sleep. And a sleep mode, he would stay inactive, and then suddenly in the middle of the fucking night, you'd hear, and it was his fucking neck extending. And then his finger would glow, light up your whole fucking room.
Yeah, it was so bright.
And he would just go, home, and you're like, oh!
Bearing in mind you were asleep. All right, here's the original ET.
Let's have a look. Shut up. Really?
Yeah, that's the original one.
That's quite freaky.
Isn't it? All his fingers have those weird little balls on the end. His whole hand must
His whole hand closed.
It'll be like,
and his feet.
what's that fucking Pokemon with the Mr. Mime?
Yeah, it'd be Mr. Mime. Oh,
yeah,
goodness.
it's a creepy little fucker, isn't it?
He is a horrible little thing. Goodness. Yeah, so this ET, we'd had enough of it, basically. So I think we just took turns throwing it down the stairs, didn't we?
Yeah, until one day his head fucking blew off, didn't it?
Yeah, so basically we chucked him down the stairs and his jaw ripped off. And we're like, oh, fuck, I think that's the end of ET. And he stayed inactive for quite a while. And then suddenly, the motors had kind of gone on his neck by this point. But all you heard was... His head was trying to extend. and then with his broken jaw, he was just going... and we're like, oh my God! His fingers still... Yeah, he's fucking horrifying little creature.
Is this the original Xenomorph you're talking about that has a skull face?
Oh, no.
I don't know if that's the original or not. I'm struggling to find it. But that's...
Fuck, no, I don't think it is, but that's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
It might be Original Predator. Keep looking. It might be Original Predator. But yeah, so on to the Predator. So,
oh my God.
Is this it?
This thing.
Oh.
That's what's come up. It's a weird looking...
No, I don't think that's it either. Maybe early Predator design? Or early... Yeah.
Yeah, apparently that is it.
Really?
That's the original Predator design, yeah.
Maybe that was it then. That's not how I remember it. In fairness, I don't remember it.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah?
Yeah, cool. Anyway, Predator.
Yeah, so they stumbled upon these flayed bodies. They believe it's still the gorilla group, but this mystery is deepening. So, next they are coming into contact, and actually, there's one detail we've missed, right? A couple of details we've missed. One which is important to the story, which is basically one of the dog tags they find on the flayed bodies is a man that Dutch, who is Arnie, knew.
Yes.
So Arnie instantly thinks there's something fucking going on here, and he's starting to suspect his old pal. I don't remember the name of him, but Carl Weathers. the other detail I've missed, which isn't related to story, is the fact that when it cuts scene to them finally going up to the flayed bodies, there's a vulture. And it's zoomed in on the vulture, and this bloke just comes along and boots it.
He proper punts it, doesn't he?
He punts a fucking vulture, just like he gives it a proper pun, and it's one of those.
So bad for the vulture.
Yeah, it's one of those scenes that like you think to yourself that was totally unnecessary, but so fucking necessary.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
so glad it happened.
It's a little detail which could have been so easily like glossed over. You think, we don't need to kick a bird, but we really shouldn't we?
But
like,
yeah, I'm glad we decided to.
Yeah, it's absolutely fucking hysterical. It's great.
Madness. But yeah, so then Arnie does this amazing, or they all have this amazing ability. Because I don't know about you, Tom.
Yeah.
But whenever I've gone for a walk in a forest,
Yes.
that has recently like de-leaved, and you know the whatever. As I'm walking along, I've never been silent.
No.
No matter, even if I'm trying to be, let alone wearing fucking army boots and having like a machine gun longer than my torso, and a fucking minigun the size of fucking one of my legs.
Yeah, you're totally spot
I've never
on.
been quiet with just me and a bottle of water in my hand, walking through the forest.
Absolutely not.
Whereas they're able to fucking army crawl down a hill of leaves and twigs and make no noise whatsoever.
Mate, they're silent as the grave, innit?
And all these blokes are like fucking shithouses. They are fucking built.
Yeah, it is. Like, even the smallest guy, which is like a glasses wearing, like, geeky one of the group, even he's got some timber on him.
Yeah.
Like, and he's meant to be like fucking the brainiac. Do you know what I mean? He's meant to be the little
he's
geek.
Fucking hench.
Like, it is mental. Like, Arnie's,
we all know like Arnie's an absolute behemoth of a man.
Yeah, and he's the first to crawl down to hide behind a log to do a reconnaissance of this guerrilla base that they've seen. And he crawls down, and it's this slow process of him kind of like rolling down this hill and then doing like a prone crawl. And it's whisper quiet. There's not a sound. And you think to yourself, fuck, either the skill involved or the detail to editing, both need commendable praise, because that is astonishing that a man of that size can make no sound. I mean, I'm probably less than half Arnie's size, and I would make more sound than that.
Easily.
Dead easily. And then when he does his little reconnaissance and calls the group over, about fucking 12 of them slide down the hill.
All silent.
Not a fucking sound.
It's like being attacked by a ghost.
It is, isn't it? So, I mean, I would say praise to them for as being a mercenary group, because if they are meant to be a, specialist, quick in and out job, no fuss, no sound, no knowledge, mate, they're good for it.
Oh, yeah.
They are fucking good for it.
They deserve their pay, don't they?
But then...
But oh my Christ, yeah. So they very sneakily take out like the guards that are watching, the ones that are in the crow's nest.
Like perimeter guards.
The perimeter having a look over and stuff. Take them out all nice and quietly. And then it's Arnie's turn. And Arnie's just fucking out in the open by this truck. Behind a guy, not really caring there's a geezer right there. Realises there's a truck that's broken and they're using it to generate electricity, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? They're using the drive belt, aren't they? Yeah.
So he snaps out, puts a bomb in the back, lifts up, shows his strength by lifting this fucking truck up,
man.
Pushes it forwards. It was his Hercules moment, wasn't it?
Yes.
Lifts the truck up, pushes it forwards, lets it roll. Then obviously all the guards are like, fuck, why is the truck rolling? So they're all trying to get in it. Bomb blows up. And I'd say, he must take out 10 or so people. We thought it was a fairly small camp as well.
It looked
small.
From his early reconnaissance, at least.
He must have taken out 10 to 15 guys in this fucking explosion. And from then on, for a solid 8 minutes, it's just explosion and fire.
My God. It makes you think to yourself, what was the point in being stealthy in the first place? Really?
Yeah, because
if your plan was take him out quietly... Be stealthy about it. It ain't the way to go about it.
I mean, we've all done that, playing Far Cry is a perfect example. You go to take on a base, and you're like, right, I can see him over there. There's 2 over here. I'm going to drop down. I'll arrow that one.
Yep.
Then I'll stab this one, and I'll do the quick jump over to stab him. And then I'll do that. And then, meanwhile, fucking, something, I don't know. I mean, with Far Cry, an elephant could just appear and smash its way in the camp.
Mate, that does happen.
Suddenly you'll get caught by a guard, and you just... unleash grenade launchers going off and you go mental.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened. He got spotted, and rather than restarting, he just went, "Fuck it." Grenade launchers out. Just blow this thing to smithereens.
It was a fucking cacophony. Like the amount of it, but things happened that I didn't anticipate. So for there's two examples. Like I've got a couple examples of this actually. There's the guy with the minigun, yeah, and there's one fella in a treetop, a little treetop lookout, and he just sprays the fucking treetop lookout, and not only does the lookout catch fire and explode, the guy falling out of the tree, riddled in minigun bullets, like massive fucking whatever caliber bullet, he's riddled with bullets and flaming from
he's on fire.
I'm like, fucking hell, he's
literally everything burns.
The tree's blowing up. He blows up a load of watermelons or fucking grapefruits. He shoots a load of grapefruits and they fucking catch fire somehow.
But then there's two guys running down like a bit of a corridor, which is between like a house and a load of drums, which you can only assume are oil drums.
Yeah, a huge amount of them as well.
They unload on that, no explosion.
It's like every rule, everything, like every bit of media has taught us that barrels when shot explode. Be it movies, games, they all unanimously say that's going to blow up.
And this film seems to be following GoldenEye, the game of everything blows up.
Yeah.
Desks, filing cabinets.
People, yeah.
So there was no reason why these barrels wouldn't explode. But they must have gone, you know what? Wait, hold on. What was that budget for this film? Like 18 million or something?
Was it?
15 to 18 million. Ooh. So they must have gone that we finished filming The Predator and we've still got like 7 million left of budget.
Yeah.
Should we just blow up the jungle and just cut in videos? Because it went on for so long. But then also the camp was 50 times bigger than what I expected. Because I got lost as to where we were.
Absolutely. It went from a hole in the ground to fucking Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
How that thing changed was unbelievable.
And then I think my favourite bit was towards the end of our half an hour watching. Arnie, does he burst his way through a door?
Oh, yeah,
bursts his way through the door.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's two guys in this little wooden hut, which,
knock.
bearing in mind, has been, put together very rushed.
Oh,
so it's full of holes and all that. These two guys are in this little hut. Yeah, Arnie bushes through the door. Knock, knock. And then these guys are surprised to see him. And you're like, he's just blown up a fucking helicopter. Can you not hear this going on?
Just a second ago,
How have you built a soundproof, badly wooden building? How have you done this? Yeah. How have you managed to make it soundproof? These two geezers are in here just chatting away like, I wonder what's going on out there.
They're making a lot of...
It's like fucking...
What a ruckus, eh?
It's like hell on earth out there, the amount of fire that's going on. And these guys just have no, care. And then the army just fucking blows one away, doesn't it?
He shoots a grenade at him. And contrary to, the past 10 minutes where everything exploded, this guy just flies through the wall. Literally, the fucking force of the grenade just propels him through the wall. And that's it, he's done. But no explosion, he's a goner, mate.
Remember in Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, the original one?
I know what you're going to say. You could shoot grenades through people.
The noob tube.
Yes.
And you could, if you had...
I haven't heard that in a long time. Noob tube, fucking hell.
If you're at a decent distance, you'd blow up. If you managed to hit someone with the grenade launcher who was close... Yeah. Not only would it make a hilarious thud, but it would just straight out kill him as well.
I remember that. I do remember that actually, because you could get double kills in it. You could shoot through someone and then try and hit someone with the explosion.
Up. Yeah. So that's what I think he did. I think it was just too close, and he just fucking obliterated this guy's chest.
I totally forgot about that. Jesus Christ, that must have been it then. And then the other guy just sprays with a fuck ton of bullets, and then that's the end of him, innit?
Yeah, mate. I don't know how many bullets they used to take down this camp, but
I want to say too many, but I feel like...
Minigun man alone.
Oh, mate.
He was mental.
Mate, in my opinion though, it was just right.
Oh, it was so good.
Just the right amount of chaos. Like
So it was so much chaos.
Beautiful.
I had no idea what was going on anymore. I didn't know who was who. I wasn't sure if this was like, I was like, is this a gorilla guy or is that Arnie? I have no clue as to who's who.
It didn't matter, innit?
It didn't matter. You were just like, if they were getting killed, they were the gorilla group. If they weren't, they were our guys.
That thing you said was so funny, by the way.
I don't even know what I said.
You said, so after Arnie fucking propels that guy for a wall and shoots that other guy, like he turns around and there's a woman and he just like knocks her out.
Yeah, he just, because she comes in to try and kill him, and he just like butts her with the gun.
Yeah, and he knocks her out and he's looking at her like, what the fuck? And I said to myself, like, guys, I found the alien instead. So it's like, this is.
The thing is, it's because they're all so macho.
Yeah,
they're all so macho.
This one's got testicles on its chest.
It's just like he seemed surprised to see a woman. Like he just genuinely seemed shocked that a woman was. I mean, to be fair, like you wouldn't expect to see her in this gorilla group.
Absolutely not.
Who, for all they think, have just was it flame? Is that the word?
Flaying. Yeah,
flayed the three people. Like he wasn't really expecting to see a woman there to come in to attack him.
No, very true.
But
very true.
It was the way he looked at her. It was just like
what's that?
Is she the alien? What is this?
What is that? This one has testicles on its chest. That's so good. Oh, that kind of nears us towards the end of the half an hour. The only other things that happened kind of note is that the macho guy with the minigun is with the kind of geekyish, or one of the other slightly, but I say smaller, like average sized men.
He's still
like,
built, but not quite as big.
And like the guy's like, you're bleeding, you're hurt. And he's like, I haven't got time to bleed. Just emphasizing just how much of a fucking monster this guy is. And the only other thing of note is that Arnie confronts Carl Weathers because he has figured out he's double-crossed them and this was a ploy to get them here. And Carl Weathers had also sent the previous group here and knew that they had gone radio silent. So he knew something else was up. He knew something was going on.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where we left off.
Yeah, I mean, we did see the Predator very briefly. We had the bit where Predator's looking at him through the heat vision.
Yes.
And he's just like scouting them out kind of thing. And Arnie has like a moment where he's looking up.
He knows something.
He knows something's going on, but obviously he doesn't quite understand the extent of it.
Absolutely.
But that's the issue we had from Predator. So sadly, we didn't see him.
No,
didn't get
not
to
in
see
the
him
flesh.
do any work.
Not in the flesh.
Gutted.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, solid. Would you carry on watching this film?
Oh, 100%. It's happened a few times. One of the ones I can think of is Wayne's World. I didn't want to stop watching Wayne's World.
Yep.
I didn't want to stop watching either of the Toy Stories or Finding Nemo or The Incredibles, come to that. And this one's up there with it. Predator, I didn't want to stop watching. I was more than happy to sit through that.
And knowing what's to come as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It just gets better.
Exactly.
So, like I said earlier, this film had a $15 to $18 million budget. Box office.
Yeah.
Obviously, this was back in 1987, so like it's nowhere near what comes in today.
I don't know. 50 million?
98 million.
Fuck, that's good, man.
Yeah. Done very well.
Yeah,
that's just in the States as well.
Shit, that's really impressive. Really impressive. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Actually, that's the point. If I had the English details up, maybe I could see what the English box office did.
Yeah, I wonder if it done as well or if it was not as like loved over here in England.
I've got no idea. 18 million. So not
80 million.
18.
18. Are you sure that's not budget?
I don't know. My page, it loaded up quickly and now it stopped loading. My internet has gone from 3G and then it went down to E and now it's just on G. Is that 1G?
I think
is 1G a thing?
I think give up. Right, should we move on to the game?
Let's do that. Yeah.
So, this is for the... Apologies for the car. I live on a road where people like to speed. Yes, so this is the
It's your fault
NES.
for buying property on a Formula One racetrack.
I'm sorry, I just couldn't help it.
It was going cheap.
It was going cheap. Silverstone were desperate. So, yeah, this is the NES game.
It is, yes.
And I'm looking at the Wikipedia entry. There's not a lot of information for it.
Really?
No.
Is it made by LJN? LGN.
Publisher. Well, the thing is, so the developers, it's got this list here, right? Developers, Software Studios, System 3, Pack-In Video for the NES version.
Okay.
Klon for the MSX version. Source, Gren Hills Graphics.
Right.
So that's 5 companies.
What, they just outsourced it to different companies to put on different platforms, do you think?
No, it's only on NES and MSX.
Then that's very strange.
And then publishers, it's got Activision, Superior Software,
Right.
The Hit Squad,
Right.
Pack-In Video.
Oh,
Sorry, platforms. We had it on the Acorn Electron,
wow.
the Amiga, the
Wow.
Amstrad CPC,
Yeah.
the Atari ST, the BBC Micro,
Fucking
the
hell.
Commodore 64,
Yep.
the NES, the MSX, and the ZX Spectrum.
Fucking hell. Yeah, it was outsourced to multiple companies, wasn't it?
Pack-In Video and Activision, I think, are ours.
Yes.
Who done the NES one? Yeah, and have you ever played this game before?
I haven't, mate. Nah.
No?
And you know what? Up until like an hour ago, I was quite glad to have never played it before. It's a real fucking shock. It's another one. It's another one, isn't it?
It's just another fucking... I mean, like...
It's just another fucking
As we said
NES game, mate.
during the opening bid, it's just another NES game.
It is.
And we're going to get a lot of hate, but I just don't...
We are.
The NES just doesn't live up to it anymore. But,
It doesn't.
But
at all.
this game brought nothing to the table. But like to the point where Arnold Schwarzenegger is wearing fucking pink clothes. He doesn't start off with a gun, but when you get a gun, you then finish the level and you lose your gun for whatever fucking reason.
Yep.
You can jump and punch, and that's about it.
Nothing to do with the predator. You're hunted by scorpions, jellyfish, and bacteria.
And people.
Yeah, the occasional person.
And what we assume is an owl, but we can't work out what the fuck it is.
Yeah. Comments, please. If anyone
watch the
knows,
video on opening bid and tell us what the fuck that circle thing is with the eyes.
yeah, comment on like this video and the opening bid or either. I don't care, but just the circle at the beginning of the very first level, whatever that thing is, a rock with eyes, an owl. Just tell us, because it can't just be a rock, because the thing fucking moves when you get near it. It's autonomous.
It's fucking mental.
It is.
But the gameplay is just you got to get from the left to the right.
That mate. Say no more.
It's platforming at its worst.
Yep.
You are just jumping, and then like there's no walls, it's just floor. So if you get hit, it's platforming on tiny platforms. But if you get hit, you get hit across the side. So like you get moved. So then you can't take a hit on a small platform because you'll get blown off it. But they're all small platforms, so
exactly.
You're kind of fucked. You fall to your death, and that's that.
Yeah.
It was obviously a game built for retry, because you can... if you can watch my gameplay, if you can put yourself through it for the half an hour, you can see I do get better, but then I lose the will to live. And then I get worse.
Yes.
But there's just nothing to it. Like, you get the grenades, and you just lob the grenade, and like there's no... It's no fun.
How many words can you say to describe bullshit? Do you know what I mean? It's like that sort of thing. How many ways can you gloss over the fact that it's just
crap?
It's just shit, mate.
It starts off in like a jungly level.
Yeah.
Then level 2 is a jungly level. Then number 3 is in an ice cave.
Yeah.
But what the fuck? And like you said, bacteria.
There's a fucking seahorse in the cave.
Yeah, there's a seahorse attacking you, with bacteria attacking you, like, I don't know, and then some weird plants shooting balls at you.
It's just by the numbers platform. It's one of those things. I'm going to touch upon that whole kind of like the NES has had its day sort of thing. and we said this in our opening bid episode. Once again, go watch it. But we do appreciate that it's a classic console. Obviously, when we were young, I mean, when we were born, the NES was still the big thing. You know, early 90s, the NES was still the console. You know, it's only, I don't even remember when SNES came out, 93 or something. But, you know, like our first proper consoles were the Mega Drive and the SNES. So we weren't far out from that generation. We played the previous generations, of course we did. So we can appreciate them. But they just, where the SNES and the Mega Drive in that generation can still have its spot in the sun, and it can still be enjoyable and can still flourish, the NES and that generation, it no longer does. And it's just like, we've played a few of these games from that generation, like Commodore, like Gremlins was on the Commodore or some shit.
The Atari 5200.
That's it. Like Gremlins was on the Atari. This is on the NES. Back to the Future, very first episode we ever done. Go check that one out. That's going to be a blast from the past now, how much we've changed. But like that was on the NES, I believe. And mate, we've never had a good time with it. And if you posed the question to someone and you said, you know, what would you rather play? For a random game, for example, would you rather play Shadow of the Tomb Raider, or would you rather play this classic from the NES? I'm sure there'd be people out there, purists, that say, no, I'm definitely going to play the NES game because it's a real classic. And you'd be like, yeah, I can appreciate what you're saying, and I can appreciate if you grew up with it, but you are deluding yourself. You are deluding yourself. Play Shadow of the fucking Tomb Raider, man. I haven't even played it, and I know that thing's a killer.
Well, I think a lot of people need to play that. But like, the thing is, NES did have a lot of good games. Yeah. There's no denying it.
No, sure.
Like the original Contras on NES.
Yeah.
You know.
Great game.
That plays a lot better than this.
It does, yeah.
You know, obviously there's all the Mario games, the original Zelda, Mega Man.
We're not discounting the fact that it doesn't have good games.
It definitely does have good games, but there's a lot of shit. Yeah, and this is one of the shits.
For the minor percentile, like I don't know, like between 1-5% of wonderful games you could find on the NES, I can find you 95%, mate. From the other hand, I can. Just look for our back catalogue of episodes. You'll find some there, mate. You will find some. This
game it just has nothing to do with Predator. I mean, I know Predator does turn up. But I never got to him because it was just too hard.
Yeah.
But here we go. This sums it up quite well on Wikipedia. The game was negatively reviewed by critics due to several flaws with the graphics. Dutch wearing a pink outfit instead of a blue one, like in the MSX version.
Yes.
As well as the enemies, besides the Predator, and the gameplay having nothing to do with the movie and poor controls. Mate, now, I can't agree with that more.
Oh, yeah.
The controls were 100%. Fucking terrible. I said to Tom, how did they perfect platforming on the NES with Super Mario?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the first Mario game. Platforming spot on. It's so good.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, Nintendo, even back then, made sure their games were as good as they could be before they released them.
Yeah, very true that.
You know, you look at this Predator game and it's floaty and slippy.
Fucking hell, it's useless, mate.
Terrible.
It is.
It's like they made the platforming difficult to make you die so you replay it. Probably because there's not a lot to this game. I don't know how many levels there are.
There's fuck all to it. To be honest, is there?
The fact that you don't have a weapon, and if you get a weapon, you lose your weapon. And apparently, according to Wikipedia, the only weapon that can hurt the Predator is the laser gun.
Is it really?
Yeah. So you have to get the laser gun. So the Predator was probably at the end of that ice cave.
Yeah, maybe. That does make sense, setting you up with the laser. Yeah.
So he was probably back there, but just you're trying to climb this ice thing. It's slippy. The enemies are shooting at you, and you're not having fun.
Yeah.
So you quickly give up. I mean, like we do now. Because if I'm not enjoying a game, I no longer persevere. Whereas when I was a kid, I would.
Yeah, you had no choice, did you?
Yeah,
that's
now
the difference. We have the ability to choose.
We have so much at our fingertips. We don't need to suffer through it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like, challenge isn't a pitfall for playing a game, because like challenging games that are well made make you want to play them more. I'm convinced of that. Like, I actively try and play games on harder difficulties when I know the game has solid gameplay, because I know that's how I'm going to get the most amount of time, my best enjoyment. That's where the game really lies for me. So it's not a matter of that it's hard, therefore we give up. It's the fact that it's hard as fucking nails and it's so poorly designed. That's a game killer.
Yeah, I mean, like,
simple
normally,
in any game from any generation. That's a game killer.
Looking back at like our list of the bottom games of our core wall, right? Shrek Extra Large is always the one that comes up. But you've got Shrek Extra Large.
Yeah.
The Crow. Mission Impossible. 3 games that are near our bottom.
Yeah.
We found hilarious.
Yep, they were great fun.
Like they were funny. Like,
yes.
They weren't good, but they were funny.
Absolutely.
I laughed at this because it was so bad, and because
painful.
It was just painful.
Yeah. It really was. So I mean, there's so little to say about the game really. It's pretty self-explanatory, and we've done enough of that kind of generation of games that do play similarly to this, the bad ones, that we've experienced this. We know where we are with them now. To be honest, it's mind-numbing. Half an hour is all we could possibly do on a opening bid episode, and for the sake of our podcast, because any more, and we'd lose our tiny little minds.
Yeah, I'd lose my will to live.
Exactly. So I mean, I say let's call it there. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. So
would you carry on playing this?
Yeah. Oh, fuck no. I didn't even touch it. I was watching you play, and that was enough.
You wouldn't even take it off me, would you?
As a third-hand experience, it was enough.
Yeah.
Let alone a first-hand. Christ almighty.
So should we take it to Cornwall then?
Yeah, let's do it. We got any reviews? None of that? Or just they all said it was shit, didn't they?
Yeah, they all just said it was crap.
Cool.
I'll have a little quick look. Because it was like back then, it's...
You're right.
Mate.
Steph's buffering over here.
Well, no, it just said, I was just having a quick look for reviews. So, in Germany, Predator was put on the index by the... I cannot say this. This is...
What?
Insane.
What?
It's just German words.
Oh, should I give it a go?
Which made it illegal to sell or make the game available to minors in Germany, as well as making it illegal to advertise the game in any form. But try reading this blue line there. You will know it as soon as you see it.
Bundesprofstelle für Jürgen de Gafftrend Medien. That's as good as I can make it. And
that was way better than I could have
ever
done.
And for any German listeners, I do apologise for butchering your language and calling your mother a donkey prostitute.
In German.
In German.
Right.
And just then in British.
Yeah.
British?
British? In British.
It's different to Americanish.
Yeah. British.
Oh.
Right, so... Cornwall.
Yeah, cool.
Now, we're obviously thinking this is going to be near towards the bottom.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. In fact, pretty fucking low. Isn't one going to cut... Hang on. If it does go in the bottom 5, isn't the Crow coming out?
If it goes in the bottom 5, the crow is out of the 5.
Oh! That's exciting. All right. Oh my God, I think it's going to happen. I'm so excited.
But the thing is it raining?
Yeah, I think it's starting to piss down.
But I'm going to have to quickly get my washing in. So I'm going to let you look at the call.
Oh my God!
And you're going to have to hold on to the podcast.
All right. Do you mind if I do the announcement of top and bottom?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so just to keep you viewers informed, obviously, like for those on YouTube, you have it on your screen. Oh, it's pissing it down. Poor lad. Poor lad. He just got that out of the washing machine. Oh, poor lad. Right, so for viewers on YouTube, you can obviously see our call wall. And for those who are listening on Acast or other podcasting platforms, please pop over to YouTube so you can see it. But our top 5 consists of Doom for pretty much everything. In 4th is Toy Story 2 for the PlayStation 1. In 3rd is Alien Resurrection for the PlayStation 1 again. In 2nd is GoldenEye for the N64. And finally is Final Fantasy 7 in the top place for the PlayStation 1.
It's a solid list.
It is a solid list.
And yes, my washing is soaked.
Oh, mate. I'm so sorry.
It only went out like an hour ago, so it was pretty wet anyway.
Oh, that's such rotten luck. Right, our bottom 5. So in 32nd place currently is The Crow for the PlayStation 1. In 33rd is The Mask for the SNES. In 34th is Wayne's World for the SNES. In 35th is Powerpuff Girls Chemical Extraction for the PlayStation 1. And then finally, right at the bottom, Shrek Extra Large for the GameCube. Okay.
Looking at the list, have you got an idea where you want to put it?
Have you decided?
Not quite yet. I'm debating in my head as to where I'm going to put it.
You see, there's some things here that I would... Because obviously...
I feel like the cool wall at the bottom needs a rearrange, to be honest.
It really does. There are things all over the place for me.
Because like Little Nicky's way too high up.
Back to the Future should be below The Crow. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean...
The Crow was better than Back to the Future.
I'm in turn to agree with you now.
Back to the Future was so fucking shit. It was so shit. I think I've made up my mind. I have made up my mind.
Go on, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I've made up my mind.
Okay, go on, say what you're thinking.
It's bottom. It's second to last. It's below Powerpuff Girls Chemical Extraction. At least that had some fun to it.
You're right. I literally had no fun. But
the only reason Shrek is below it,
because it's on GameCube, man.
It's because it's on GameCube, and it was so riddled. Like if that was a human, you'd turn off its life support.
Yeah, you'd give up with it.
You'd be like,
Sorry, mate.
That thing is riddled with disease. Do you know what I mean? It was unforgivably bad.
Yeah, I do agree that we might have to do like a little...
I think we need a rearrange.
A little rearranged day of sorting this out, because at the bottom is just... It's wrong, isn't it?
It is wrong, yeah. But I'm putting that second to last.
So you want it to be our new 35?
Yeah, I do.
To be fair, yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can agree with that all day long.
Sweet, man. The Crow's out. That's exciting. We've been talking about that day probably since we've done it.
Can't believe it. Crow's out.
That was like our 7th episode.
Yeah.
Like 30 episodes ago.
We're going to have to come back to it. Definitely have to come back to it.
We're going to have to do a revisit of The Crow, aren't we? Big time. Right, so there we go. So I mean, ultimate question. Is it a cash grab?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a fucking cash grab, innit?
Yes.
Slap a load of fucking shit.
Just make a shit platformer.
Yep.
And then...
Put the name on it and put it on every console.
Do you know what, actually? The most amount of time that I think went into this game, bearing in mind we didn't see the sprite of the Predator, is before you go into the game, you have like a pixel art of Arnie, which don't look too bad.
That looks alright.
And then when you die, you have a pixel art of the Predator, which looks a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still looks good. I think that's where all the time went to.
I think you're right, to be honest, mate. That's the only place where I can see any effort was put into.
Yeah, literally that. Everything else is just... The enemies fucking walk off the edge sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, so they might... the Scorpion might walk off the edge this round, but it might not. And then this geezer might run off the edge and kill himself, but then he respawns straight away.
Yeah.
And it's just no, like... there's no... There's no, like...
No finesse, no... Yeah, there's nothing to it, is there?
It's just like, why does the enemy sometimes run off the edge? And why does he sometimes run to the edge and run up and run back again?
Yeah.
So it's like, imagine if they released the first Mario game on the NES with, like, green Koopas who do just wander wherever and fall down pits.
Yeah.
And red Koopas who are smart enough to know when the edge is and it will bounce back. Imagine if that was just random and like sometimes reds would fall off, sometimes greens would stop and walk back.
Yeah.
That's what this was. And if they released that game like that with that poor AI and like Goomba's done the same thing, Goombas would hit the edge and walk off sometimes they'd
free for all, mate, wouldn't it?
It wouldn't be as highly like loved as
Mario
it is.
might not have become the institution it is today if it was built in that way.
Yeah, if it had this
really
kind of AI shitty programming and the platforming as bad as this. But
yeah, absolutely.
Just that alone, the fact that the enemies are just so unpredictable, but not because they're trying to be clever, because they literally just felt like they didn't know how to program them.
I couldn't agree more.
It's without a doubt.
It's a hollow shell, mate. It's a hollow shell. It's a terrible game, one of our worst, and it's a cash grab. That's it. Signed, sealed, delivered. It's yours. Right, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you ever so much if you have hit the like button and the subscribe button. It would mean the world if you would do both of them now if you have not, and put a comment. And please do consider checking out our Patreon at Cash Grab Podcast. It would mean the world if you could definitely consider becoming a patron so we can continue doing what we love.
And we can get Tom that stroke medicine he ever so needs.
Yeah, man, I need my pills now. I'm fucking corpsing out over here. Right, thank you so much, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. We'll see you later.
See you later.